I don't know what happened to me, but I ate some nuts, and it never had happened to like where I had an allergic reaction to nuts before, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened because my whole face swelled up, my eyes, my whole body itches. I've got this rash all over my body. I couldn't breathe. I had to be taken by ambulance because I couldn't breathe. I can still barely talk. And it's been getting worse. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm like shaking right now because I couldn't breathe. What's up, world? It's Erin here. I'm doing a check-in. I am about 7 months post-op from my RNY. I had my RNY, the gastric bypass, on June 14th. And up until yesterday, I haven't had any complications, right? Everything's gone smooth. I hit my 100+ pounds weight loss a couple weeks ago, and everything has been smooth sailing, right? Up until yesterday. I was eating some nuts, some almond nuts that happened to have like some cinnamon and apple flavor, right? These are nuts I had before surgery, the same brand, the same kind. They only have 2 grams of sugar per serving, and they're like a good source of protein, right? So like I figured it's a good little snack because every once in a while, you know, I get a mad sweet tooth, and like there's not a lot of things that I can really eat, or like not always I have them on hand. They're like a good sweet snack. So anyways, I had like my lunch and a protein drink that day. That's really all I'd had. And my lunch was a simple lunch, just like a cheese wrap with some spinach artichoke, like dip stuff on it with turkey and some Parmesan and lemon. That's literally all I had in the day. So this is how I feel like I know it was the nuts, even though I don't really know it was the nuts. I know it was. Basically, I ate a good handful of them because it was less than the serving amount. So I was eating them real fast, and all of a sudden my hands started itching like uncontrollably, like itching, like my palms like were freaking out. And then all of a sudden I noticed my eyes were like having blisters up here and under here. My face had started to swell up, my lips, everything had swollen up, and my body was itching like crazy, and my ears were going crazy, like they were itching and like they were clogged, and my whole head was like stuffy and I couldn't breathe through my nose. So I'm thinking, I just kept sneezing. I didn't know what was going on. So I get in the shower, a hot shower. I'm like, well, maybe this will like fix me. Like maybe I just need a hot shower to clear my head, right? Wrong. I literally get out of the shower. I can barely get dressed. I'm like gasping for air, barely can breathe. I literally barely can throw on my clothes. And I'm like calling my mom, like freaking out because I can't breathe. I was losing my voice. I had no air. My lungs were like, my throat, whatever this is, was like closing on me. So my mom's like, call 911. Like, yeah, that's what you have to do, because we have like nothing for it. I like took 2 allergy pills and nothing. It was nothing that was helping. So I call like an ambulance, and like due to COVID, like you're lucky to get an ambulance. You're lucky to get into a hospital. So like I literally was walking to my front door and I could not breathe. And I like blacked out as I like walk out my front door, and I like basically collapsed in my yard. And this like fireman had to like carry me like to the ambulance, and like that to give me like an epi shot. It's like pretty fucked up because like I thought I was gonna die. I was like, fuck that. Like I literally didn't lose all this weight and come this far to fucking die. Oh, because of a fucking nut or some shit, you know? But like, that's just real. Like they had to inject me with the EpiPen, and then I started to like gasp for air, and I started freaking out. Like I started like imagine like your most extreme like anxiety attack, but my whole body was shaking. And I'm like freaking out, and I thought I was like hyperventilating. I've never have freaked out like that before. Like it was crazy. And the guy's like, look, we just like had to inject you with the EpiPen, which is like the most adrenaline type rush you could have. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like why everything's like going crazy on me right now. Literally the ambulance guys were like, you don't know how lucky you are right now. Like some people, they'll have something like this happen and they'll just like die because like nobody's there. And like that's like scary. And the guy's like, we don't even know each other's name yet because we just went on our shift. Like literally, like they literally were signing in, clocking in at the hospital, like down the street from my house. And they're like, got the call to come over because the lady was like choke, like whatever I was having, choking or whatever. And like literally like they came and they like saved me. But like after you try to give me like a you know those, they give you like a, I'm so like medically like challenged, I don't even know these terms. They like give me like a bag of fluids, you know, try to give it to me, but like my veins won't take it because like I have like these like bitch veins that are like super deep and thin, and like they always have a problem. So I try to do it in my hand, and like you can't really see it, but like there's like a hole in my hand. Dude, the guy tried to like put the thing into my hand and it bubbled up like a blood bubble under my skin. And the guy's face was like horrified. So then I start really freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on? And the guy's like, well, we can't even leave to get you to the hospital yet because we got to get clearance because all the hospitals, all their beds are like on, like they're on hold. Like you're on a wait list basically to get into the hospital right now because of COVID and all that shit. So I'm like, oh man, this guy can't even get an IV in me, and they like say I need one now, and I'm like freaking out because of this fucking shot they gave me. And I'm like, and then my fucking neighbor is like calling me, she's like blowing me up and like texting me, and it's like, lady, like you did just see me get in the ambulance, like Karen, like why are you calling me? Like get away from me. Like she's literally blowing me up. I can't even deal with it. It's like stressed me out so bad. The whole experience is like I can't believe this just happened, like wild shit. I've never had an allergy in my life. And so finally the hospital calls and they're like, yeah, bring her over here to the hospital. Luckily I get a hospital bed. I get to the hospital, I'm talking to the doctors and stuff, and they're like, yeah, so probably it was the nuts. Like that sounds about right. And sometimes after you have like the gastric bypass surgery, you can have like bad side effects to food and get allergies and stuff. So pretty sure that's what it is. I wanted to post this update because like next week I have an appointment to go in and get like an allergy test because I've never once had one in my life. I've never had a problem with any kind of allergy. So like now I'm like scared. I'm like horrified. Like I don't even want to eat anything. I was drinking almond milk and shit like the other day. So I'm like just like mind blown by this because, you know, like I just don't even know like what just happened. And so if anybody else is like had a sleeve or a bypass, you know, like it's not a bad idea to contact your primary care doctor and just like ask them, hey, can I get an allergy test? Because that is real. I never would have suspected anything like that to happen to me because again, I never had allergies to anything. I was fat. I could eat anything. You know what I mean? I literally ate everything out there I ate. So to be allergic to like some nuts that I used to eat, now I'm like, what else could I be allergic to? Like what else is possibly out there that could cause something like this to happen? Because now I have to like wear a bracelet that says I have this allergy, carry this EpiPen. Like that escalated quickly. So I'm just writing this because, you know, or, you know, giving this because, you know, I'm always trying to give you guys tips along the way. And someday somebody's going to come across this video and it's going to help them. And, you know, like it's scary, like to not know what's happening to your body. Like, you know, like the weight loss and everything is cool. Like now I weigh like 178 pounds. Like it's amazing, right? But like you got to take care of yourself too. All my vitamins, everything has been good along the way. But then this happened. So literally keep your eyes open. If you had the surgery, go get tested. And if you're following me on my journey, thanks for checking me out. Again, another vulnerable video, but otherwise, everything's great. Like I said, I'm 178. I've lost over 110 pounds, and couldn't be better. All right, talk to you later.